All right, actually get the game open. Wow, 13-2 already, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we are live. Danny, you can take over for a second while I try to get us synced up here. I can't do that. So we apologies for the issue. I had to restart my computer, and then the only way to do that is by updating. So there you go. Love my live streaming life here.
And my feed is a little bit jumpy right now, but we'll keep working through
Oh
everything.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, we have to sync up too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, why is my feed so jumpy?
Well, hopefully we don't have the same outcome in this game as we did in the first one, but it looks like we are at least on a path to there with it being 13-2 already.
Yeah, the Warriors scored on a Draymond Green layup early in the game and then have not scored since. I think the Suns defense has been good. The Warriors have missed some shots they normally make, but I think the Suns,
Yeah.
I think it's more their transition offense that has been so good in the early going.
Yeah, Warriors definitely can be vulnerable there. All right, so I got the gorilla running around. The dance team's running off the floor. This is us now trying to sync up. We'll come up with some other procedures so we don't subject you to this. All right, so now they're seeing mortgage matchup center. How many times does that have? All right, here we go. Brent and
I think we're close.
Grady are on. Okay, I'll try to give you some counts as we go through here. But yeah, I have to actually get ready to sync up as well. All right, so we're at 8:14, 8:13, 9, 8, 7,
Okay, we're good.
6. All right. Let me just get this synced up here as well. All right. And I think we should be all synced up now. All right, let's call this thing. Let me know in the comments if I forgot something. There's Green, guarded by Green. And there's a trip Curry. They're going to say non-shooting on this. It's like something with his hand there. Yeah, I think it was that. Was that the hand that he injured? So he's going to get tripped. Yeah, I mean, that is a shooting foul. No, that is not a shooting foul. All right. Curry switched onto by Iguodala. Mark Williams not playing tonight. What was his actual injury?
I thought I saw foot. Let me take a look.
Okay,
I have it up.
so
Yeah.
the same thing as usual. Porzingis. Oh, he's blocked from behind. Iguodala, underrated rim protector. Steph got it back. He's about to throw up a behind the back three, but time ran out on the shot clock. Great play by Iguodala to block the 7-3 Porzingis from behind. Oh, he just got him there. Iguodala, beautiful block. I was definitely critical of Jordan Knott for having him off the floor in the winning moments of the 7-8 game.
And I'm on assist, and then we can get comments, of course, from YouTube as well. We'll do those during stoppages.
Warriors going to their 2-3 look here with Green at center, Porzingis on the bench, and Jalen Green just throws it away.
Yeah, threw that pass real high, but he had a three in the early going. One of the other things, the Suns, their first 5 baskets all their points have been scored by each of their starters. Each one has at least 2.
Curry waves away and it looks like he just stepped on the sideline. He was waved away the first screener. He wanted to get Iguodala involved, and then he stepped out. Yeah, left foot on the sideline. Booker lobs it up, and Santos hits Iguodala from behind. That, thankfully, actually, for Phoenix will be a non-shooting foul because Iguodala is a horrible free throw shooter.
And I think thankfully for Phoenix, I thought that was a pretty bad pass. They could have been deflected a couple different ways, but instead it becomes Suns ball on the side.
Brooks up top against the Warriors zone, gets it to Iguodala, and that floater has been money for him of late. Green sets an illegal screen underneath Santos off the pass from Curry. Now Booker, late contest by Green, but that's going to leave the boards open. They have nobody else down there to rebound, but Phoenix just flubbed it. Podziemski on the push, looking to get it back to Melton. Melton finding Podziemski on the golden catch, drives in, good finish there.
And Podziemski is better at when the advantage is created for him getting downhill. He had a horrendous 1-on-4 fast break early in the game.
Yeah, and again, if Steph can get out in transition, it really messes up the opposition's transition defense because anyone's so worried about it. Now Steph with the strip on Brooks, throws it ahead. Speculative pass. Santos runs it down, and Brooks throws the ball back to the referee somewhat petulantly.
First foul on Brooks, second team foul on the Suns.
You can see Santos, who's been dealing with the hip issue the last few weeks. He's got a little bit of a hitch in his giddy up as well. That exact motion right there probably didn't feel too good. But 4 straight points for Golden State and Al Horford in the game. Draymond up top. They want to screen for Steph here. Iguodala switching onto him. Now Booker is in his lap as well. And in the corner, wow, almost just completely thrown away. Curry had nothing there. Green, good denial by Iguodala, then switch off the ball by Iguodala. Now Horford on the drive, and Curry is just run into. That's going to be Brooks again, I believe.
Let's see who they called this on. It looks like Dillon Brooks is acting like they called it on him. And this is an interesting lineup for Kerr because it's Gary Payton along with Horford and Draymond Green. And so that means that Jalen Green is basically not guarding him at all. He's almost 2.9ing in the paint, and that's a reasonable approach. Can get some cuts, but
that was a horrible call on Dillon Brooks. Steph Curry actually ran into him, and Brooks tried to get around him. It was a moving screen by Steph, and then Steph flopped at the end, and now he gets a drive, and Golden State's right back in this thing. It was 13-2, but Steph has fallen into the cameras. That leads to this 3 from Brooks, and he cashes it out.
Second made 3 for Dillon Brooks already. Hit an arc 3 in Porzingis' face earlier.
Now Curry just fires immediately on Gillespie. Looked like he might have been trying to draw contact there. Payton picking up the ball with Jalen Green into the post. Brooks has Curry on him. They load up through Horford. Brooks backing down. Likes to go left shoulder in these circumstances. Horford, good double, no advantage. Oh, but Melton went for the steal. He recovered. Brooks, nice cut there past Curry. And they're going to get Curry. Curry can't believe it. He got him on a tap on the elbow.
First personal on Curry, third team foul on Golden State.
Yeah, great job after this Curry finish by Phoenix, just pushing it up hard. Green collapsed the defense and then makes the easy pass to Brooks for the 3.
And so we'll see what Jordan Ott does in terms of Dillon Brooks' foul trouble. He is not the greatest player at playing with fouls. Because he still plays hard. Like he doesn't have the tissue issue. Instead he's just plays too hard, can get into further foul trouble. It happened in that game against the Lakers about a week and a half ago.
Melton gets it to Horford into the post. They'll screen for Steph here. Iguodala looking to switch out. Steph getting it right back to Horford. He smoked the layup. Great pass by Curry. Horford rushed it. There really was no one there that could have bothered him. Now Brooks, they want to go into the post against Curry again. This is part of the game plan. Screen away, beautiful flare screen. Green cashes out. That was nice work there. The defense tilted over. Jordan Ott, I'm sure that's these post ups against Steph. Clippers didn't really do that, weren't able to do that. And between Brooks and Booker, they had the personnel. Curry, just a weak pass, very weak pass. So he's just getting kind of pushed out of bounds, like wasn't strong with the ball, and then had to loop it up. And Golden State, they could struggle with turnovers in their worst moments.
And that's been a strength of the Suns this year. The big difference in opponent shooting felt unsustainable, but the rest of it is forcing turnovers, which is very good.
Booker gets Melton switched on to him, goes hard right at him, pulls up, and drains it. Not really much of a contest there from Melton. Green, and Booker saying that he went up through his arm, trying to get some pressure on Draymond Green, but Booker prone to pick up fouls. Yeah, see, I don't understand why Melton can't get a hand up there at least on that play. He's just trying really hard to avoid fouls. So Curry will sit down now, and it'll probably be 7-8 minutes until we see him again. So it'll be Horford and Porzingis. They take Green out, Draymond Green, because he's usually paired with Curry. Screen for Porzingis. Good switching. Switching by the Suns has been very good so far. Now it has to be Melton. And quite frankly, the fact that Mark Williams is injured is probably a good thing for the Suns. They should try to attack Malawach here, though. Nice play, Melton underneath as Peyton kept it alive on the tip.
I thought Melton might have stepped out of bounds before he made that catch, but the ref didn't see it.
Yeah, so Warriors should definitely try to involve Malawach in action here. Green eluding Melton. Nice move by Gillespie. They cut everything off nicely. Now it's O'Neal. Peyton got out on him. It's Horford on Booker. Booker lost it. Still loose somehow. Green has to fire it. Late clock. Great defense by the Warriors.
They did a good job responding. There was some nice movement by the Suns. They were able to get Royce O'Neal a spot, and it looks like we're going to get a break. Let me see if I can see some questions here. If you could be the GM of any team in the lottery, which would you choose? So that's, it's kind of about what sort of job do you want? And
yeah, I mean, I think people sometimes think of this question of just more like who has the brightest future of anybody in the lottery. Because who I'd want to be GM of, right? I mean, you're probably about to say this, and just it's not you're not necessarily thinking that you want like the one that has the most talent on the team already, right?
agreed, but I think for me it might be Dallas because I'm intrigued by Cooper Flag. I if I knew the guys in this draft more, maybe I'd pick one of them. But you're looking for me. A lot of the job is where the job isn't done, but they have some foundational pieces that I'm excited about, and so Dallas fits that description pretty well for me.
Honestly, for me, it would be all about just who the owner is. Just give me the most sane owner who's going to give
So
me the most resources and not press me for a bunch of weird shit. And
so not Dallas.
I actually predict that Patrick Dumont is going to be okay going forward. We'll have to see who they get as a GM, though. That could disprove things for me.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking about the best owner. Well, I mean the Jazz, but so the Jazz have a good owner. But their job is so much closer to done. There just isn't as much to do for them.
Oh, they got to draft the right guy.
True.
And they're going to have to still continue to develop young talent because they're getting pretty expensive.
The Magic game was shocking. I agree. I mean, we'll talk about it a lot on the pod, but I was so heartened to see the Magic actually play hard. That was my big criticism of them in the first play-in game, was just that they were getting outworked by the Sixers, and they responded very well in that exact weakness.
Yeah. Golden State got back within 15-11, and it's been another run by the Suns. And I think the biggest thing that I've been impressed by Phoenix is their defense has been really good. They haven't made mistakes. Their switching has been on point. Iguodala, I think, has been fantastic early, and they've also exerted pretty good pressure.
Yeah, the first game had two different 10-0 runs in the first quarter. This one, I think it might be two different 10-2 runs in the first quarter.
All right, well, let's see. This is a danger point here for Golden State. Without Curry on the floor, you could see them going down 20. So Malawach is on Horford. They try to involve Malawach. No real advantage gained. Into the post, Horford. They tried the split cut action. Swan stitched it perfectly. Pajemski tries done. Not there. Tried to step through on the offensive glass. Nope. Porzingis is way behind the play. They're going to get transition here again. Booker pulls up for three. Not there. Good box out by Horford. Porzingis did well to get back into it, and then he gets the loose ball foul on Malawach, and that's going to be free throws. Not a good foul there by Malawach, but Porzingis at least was able to get back into the rebounding action after he got stuck on the offensive glass.
And the Suns' transition attack has been an important part of this. Let me pull up their half-court points per play. Only 0.83 in the early going, but they have 6 transition opportunities compared to 3 for the Warriors.
Yeah, and of course, Golden State turning the ball over like crazy. But this time, Malawach fouled them before they could turn the ball over.
And the Warriors have a 37% turnover rate so far in this game.
So Porzingis was questionable coming in with an ankle issue. Anthony Slater reported that he was not moving particularly well in warmups, but he is out there. Pajemski gets back in front of Gillespie. Booker being guarded by Melton. Gets chucked by Porzingis. They try to get him the ball. Now Gillespie just attacks. Taken away. Horford did not get on the floor. Saved his knees. And Golden State with the chance to attack here down 10. Melton, early three-pointer. Maybe could have driven that one.
Maybe, but this Warriors offense is so limited. Most shots, I think, are okay.
Yeah. I thought he had nobody behind him. At least they shot it before he turned it over. O'Neal, help off the corner by Santos. That's the kind of play that Santos makes that's just smart. Doesn't really show up in a lot of places. Nice drive, Booker, and that's a foul on Santos. He got him with the side of the body. Great cut there by Devin Booker to pierce the Warrior defense.
Good cut, and I like that pass from the drive and pass from Colin Gillespie as well. The closeout was strong enough that he didn't want to take the shot, and so he drives, and Booker's beautiful cut worked out.
Yeah, I think it's really to Phoenix's advantage that Gillespie can play more easily in this game with the Warriors' lack of size on the perimeter. So kitchen sink approach here for Kerr with Curry on the bench with all the rest of their best offensive players. Malawach switching on to Melton briefly. They can't get it to Horford quickly enough. Now Horford brings Porzingis over. Good cut. Booker is on him. Porzingis off balance. Guns it out to Pajemski. Another go and catch. Corner. Late move by Malawach to get out there, but Santos missed the three. Now Gillespie getting past Santos. Dunn in the corner. Can't get that. Ryan Dunn needs to make those shots. It is interesting that they're going with him rather than Fleming or Highsmith, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice pass here, Porzingis. Why didn't he shoot that?
He was looking right at the basket.
Instead, he threw it away to what was not even an open corner shooter, and that leads to this for O'Neal, one of the league's best wide-open three-point shooters. But yeah, at 7-3, this isn't a shot that Porzingis has in his arsenal, but a good short left-handed hook off the glass, and now it's taken away from Melton from behind. But Santos ran down Booker. Porzingis for three. Off the heel, Santos on the rebound. KP won't try again. Melton has Malawach. Malawach trying to move his feet, does so, but they overhelp there. Dunn was really in no man's land, and that left the guy on the backside with two, but Warriors couldn't get the jumper to fall. Santos calls the switch. Gillespie working against him and cashes out. That's where Santos really has a weakness, one-on-one defense. Clippers took advantage of that a little bit yesterday, but overall weren't able to, or 2 days ago. And the Suns, great start as the Magic had before them. They're up by 18.
The Suns, you could say, oh, they're only up 4 in the minutes that Steph Curry is sitting because the Warriors are pretty helpless in those circumstances. But they were plus 14 when Curry was on the floor in those 8 minutes. So they're in fantastic position so far, and they're playing extremely well. I think they've earned a lot of this plus 18.
Yeah, they're also 5-11 on arc threes. And that's the big problem for Golden State. If Golden State is going to go 1 out of 9 on threes, it's going to be a long day for them. But Suns, they've gotten up 15, and they're 6 out of 15 overall.
The Warriors have taken 6 shots inside 5 feet, but they're only 3 of 6 on those, and the Suns have been fouled more. The Suns, it's about even there. Let's see if we have some questions. It wouldn't be a Warriors game without sloppy turnovers. True. It is a frequent part of it, and the Suns are better at exploiting that than most teams are. Got a comment about this draft class. Well, I haven't seen it yet. Haven't seen those guys, so I'll withhold my thoughts until we actually get there. But I'm excited to watch. Like there's some years that I dreaded a little bit, but this year I'm genuinely excited. And I'll probably start my preliminary film soon.
And I will be a laggard as usual. Yeah, I think this is I'm very encouraged for the Suns of just the way that they've been able to defend so far. They are really locked in as far as their switching, and they're also switching. They're not switching passively, they're switching actively with pressure. It was really the Houston Rockets who debuted that a little bit more in the later part of the last decade. And that can throw off Golden State because what Golden State wants to do against switches is kind of pick you apart, quick cuts, slips. And if there's a lot of pressure on the ball, it's a lot harder to get those kinds of plays.
It's a great point. Leading scorer in the game so far, Dylan Brooks, 8 points, 2 of 4 from the field. All of those were 3-pointers, and then had 2 from the free throw line. And I brought up the number before. Warriors turnover rate 36% in that first quarter, 8 turnovers, 5 of which were live ball steals.
That's bad.
And again, I am checking assist as well for comments. We got it for questions. We got some comments from Spelling. Welcome to assist, but we don't have any questions. I will keep an eye on that.
I'm actually listening to what he's saying here. Good pressure on Brooks out top. So Curry is back in to start the second. This is earlier than he would normally come back. Green is joining him, and Green immediately gets the deflection on Brooks. They're going to try to make up some time here. This is with no Jalen Green, no Booker on the floor. And I think this is Jordan Knott kind of assumed with this group that he would be facing a group that didn't have Curry. Let's see if he adjusts. This may be an adjustment by Kerr, honestly, to the fact that they're down 18 and they can't let it get any worse. Steph attacks Dunn, now past Iguodala into 3 Suns, tried it off the glass. That was the wrong play. But Green wasn't being guarded in the corner, so there were too many guys around him. Now O'Neal picked up by Draymond, crosses him up. Ooh, almost drained that one. Santos on the boards. He'll look for Curry on the weak side, surely. Instead into the post. Backdoor, beautiful cut by Podziemski.
And a really nice bounce pass there for Gary Payton II to get it there.
Yeah, those screening actions, we've seen them, and the split cut actions out of the post work pretty well when Steph's on the weak side, because then nobody's coming over to take away the back door. Now Brooks going to try Curry. This is a big strategy in the half court. Brooks goes to the fading 3, though. If you're going to take advantage of Curry, you need to do it with strength. Steph switched off to Brooks. Now comes off the Santos screened. That was beautiful action. Payton got fouled underneath, no call, and he beat Iguodala, a center, to that offensive rebound.
It looked like Gary Payton's left arm was grabbed, but he was still able to get there, cut it to 14.
Golden State getting some misses, leading to getting into their actions quicker, and the Suns are starting to make mistakes now. Again, they'll just switch Curry onto Brooks. Brooks now going for a harder attack, fading jumper. Suns are starting to miss now. Good help by Draymond to deter a deeper attack. Steph, he points right to Dredd. You see that?
Yeah.
They said Jordan Knott's going to get a timeout here. This is a really nice job by Steve Kerr going back to this group to get him back in the game. And Jordan Knott, we'll see, he came back with Booker very early on in the second quarter when things were slipping away on, I guess that was Tuesday. But the Warriors, 2 cutting buckets, got a wide open 3 and an offensive rebound. Both guys go with Steph, and Draymond is wide open.
Just saw Nate's tweet on the Hornets dominance. Do you think it's a real stat or inflated due to how many tanking teams there were this season? It's a mix of the two. I think that the stats are real. I mean, it's impressive that they were able to win in so dominantly in their wins, but they did benefit from teams that weren't pushing towards it. But they put the hurt on some really good teams as well. The other thing that influences that number is that the Hornets lost a bunch of close games. So because the one way you can make that number worse, but despite having a better record, is to just win the close ones instead of losing them.
Yeah, that was a good tweet by quote unquote me. That was actually Dan, but yeah. He's been monitoring some of this stuff with the Hornets all year, and I would say that this play-in run for the Hornets was very discouraging, and their level of physicality that they're able to bring. Like, they should have lost to Miami even without Bam Adebayo. If he had been there the whole time, they would have lost handily, I believe. And I think they're we'll talk about it more on the pod, but I can rarely, if ever, recall a level of physical domination in a game for what the Magic put on the Hornets.
And so David asked the question of, do you expect the Hornets to win a playoff series next year? And my answer is no. I think that they're an exciting young core with their 3 guys, but there's a lot of work to do. And I'm intrigued to see what Jeff Peterson does with the end of their season. Because to me, I like a lot of their players, and the core of LaMelo and Knipple and Brandon Miller, but I think you need a stronger defense foundation. I like Musa Diabate, but if they're getting into the bigger conversations now, they've earned their way there. And then upgrading on the 4. Miles Bridges was massive in their play and win, but he's not good enough overall. Is also a little bit on the wrong timeline. So I would throw some real resources at those 2 holes because they have a lot of other good stuff to work around.
Yeah, well, I mean, Con Knipple has to become their best player. Like, I think that this play and run also indicated still that LaMelo is just not really ready for prime time. I mean, the 2 points in the first half, he was just a complete disaster tonight. Yeah, here we go. You see Curry pointing already.
Yeah, he was watching Iguodala and Brooks both staring at him.
Yeah, I'm not sure who made the mistake there. It's probably Brooks. So Jalen Green is back in. No Devin Booker yet, though. Green attacking pods. Draymond comes over. Gillespie 3. They're lucky to escape there because he is a great shooter in spot-up situations. Good pressure by Jalen Green off the miss. You don't see that very often. Peyton doesn't know what to do. Now he runs to the near side. Steph is going to screen for Draymond. He gets downhill. Tried to find Santos again, but because they weren't guarding Peyton, that was the obvious pass. Green tried to get too cute with it instead of just throwing it there. Post up Iguodala against Curry, and that's terrible defense by the Warriors. But they just don't have, with Draymond on the stuck on a shooter on the perimeter, they just don't have anyone else who's going to have the help defense awareness. Oh, nice pass there by Draymond to Santos. And that's just the element. Santos probably can't ever start for this team because he's just not good enough defensively, but he really adds an element on offense with his cutting, driving, attacking closeouts, passing. He had a couple of great passes in crunch time for buckets. Iguodala lost it. Now Brooks guarded by Curry again. This has often been the matchup. Brooks finding Goodwin open. Draymond late close. Goodwin missed. But again, there's just nobody there with any kind of size for Golden State. Santos is their biggest guy. Here's Brooks, another 3. Suns are starting to miss, but it looks like Peyton held Goodwin underneath. And I do question a little bit here not playing another big by Steve Kerr. I think he wanted
They
to really
have them.
open up. Yeah, he wanted to open the offense up, and that's what occurred against the Clippers, because until the Clippers figured out that Guy Santos was guarding one of their bigs. But especially when Draymond gets out on the perimeter, they just have nothing here. So Draymond sets everyone up. They're going to bring Jalen Green off the screen. So now they just switch it with Peyton. Draymond set everything up there so it would be set up with Peyton on Green after the switch. Good job by him in the inbound pass. Here's Brooks. Tried to attack Draymond. Couldn't pop off the ground enough to make that shot. Melton has returned for rebounding purposes, as has Horford. Back screen for Steph. Melton getting into the lane, just threw it off the backboard, got it back. No fresh shot clock. Goes up through the arm, though, of Goodwin. Good call there. He had the arm forward.
And a couple early fouls here on the Suns. That'll be something to watch. And Golden State has a chance to cut it to 10, not to single digits, but Melton's first shot there was bizarre. Like, just went straight off the backboard, but he was able to respond well. I don't think that was deliberate. I don't think he was trying to set up his own rebound, but, guy surprised me.
Warriors back within 11 as Devin Booker is going to return for the Suns. Kristaps Porzingis replacing Draymond Green. And are they going to take out Curry now? No, they'll leave him in. But he will need more of a rest than this. They're not going to take him for 21 minutes in the first half. That would really surprise me. But they needed to get the game back under control. And actually, yeah, it looks like Curry is out. So they're back to the kitchen sink lineup here. And Green pulls it immediately. No real puncturing of the defense at all on that possession. Here's Peyton, guarded by Booker. Horford will set the screen. He's in the post. Good switch out there by Brooks. Baseline Horford. And that's not good enough by Dylan Brooks. You got to know Al Horford wants to go left shoulder. He's
And
a
he
great
loves that
post
spin.
defender. Yeah, he just got too distracted by everything else going on. And Al Horford normally wouldn't do that. Here's a foul on Peyton, hitting Booker on the arm as he tried that pass. But knowing that Steph Curry isn't on the floor, Al Horford actually is going to try to attack in the post in a way that he wouldn't normally at this point in his career. Gary Payton has the matchup on Booker. We haven't really seen Booker try to attack him. And now Jordan Goodwin just threw the ball away.
Dylan Brooks had a little bit of pressure, but that was a bad pass by Goodwin more than a bad catch by Brooks.
I mean, he had the whole side of the floor open. I don't know how he managed to throw that away. Again, Phoenix likes to bring pressure. They force a lot of turnovers. They did that in the first. Melton getting into the lane. Oh, swatted by Jalen Green. Will stay here, though, with 14 to shoot. The Suns' offense, they have a mere 2 points in the quarter right now. Peyton will inbound, sending Porzingis towards the basket. They get it up top to Podziemski. Quick attack. Goodwin cut him off. Down to 10. They still have time here with Porzingis on the size advantage. Highsmith is in to guard him. Knew he was going to go left, took it away. Beautiful. And Jalen Green's going to get a huge slam here. Great defense by Haywood Highsmith against Porzingis.
Right after checking in. And good to see, as somebody who's been a big fan of Haywood Highsmith for a long time, him to get real minutes in this one.
Horford in the post against Booker. Will they pick up a foul on the handsy Booker? Brooks comes over to help. Peyton underneath. And that's beautiful work there by the combination of Horford and Peyton. They got Brooks to commit, and the pass was there. Double team on the sideline. Porzingis. Booker got off of it. Highsmith makes the right pass. Green is open. Yes.
That was a great job by Booker finding the hole in that double, getting the pass out, and then really good ball movement from the Suns. That's been one of my favorite things about them in this game.
Yeah, with Highsmith and Goodwin on the floor, this is a really small group. No center. They are not going with Malawach now. Into the post, Porzingis, and he couldn't hold off Goodwin. Now he gets the ball back. Only 5 to shoot. Podziemski, another quick drive, steps back, and can't get it. I have appreciated the alacrity of Podziemski's decisions here, though. Brooks tries Horford, powers in, stopped. Oh, great play by Goodwin. He beat Peyton, who's the second time Peyton has failed on the defensive glass, and Goodwin with a great play there.
And Jordan Goodwin starting, I think, has made a real difference for them. I like Colin Gillespie a lot, but they've needed Goodwin's defense and energy. I think he's made a real difference out there. From Dion, Ott not playing Highsmith is pretty inexcusable to me. I mean, Haywood Highsmith has been dealing with some real injuries. I mean, I think he's played fine when he's been on the floor over the last few weeks when I've seen the Suns, but he's still working his way back. And I mean, I'm very happy for the Suns' perspective that they have Highsmith under contract for next year. I can't remember the exact terms of that, but I believe there is a component for 26, 27. Because I still think he's a good player.
Yeah, so a big thing that sticks out to me here is Golden State's transition game has been pretty terrible. They have 2 points on 7 plays, and that's just not really many plays either. Off of misses, they've only run 3 times in 11 chances, so 27%. That's a pretty low percentage. Suns' transition game hasn't been much better either, but where they've actually only run twice off of misses, but they have 8 points off of 5 steals. Or sorry, 8 points on 5 plays running off of steals. They have 7 steals total. So that's been a big difference. Warriors half-court offense also has been pretty atrocious, 0.68 points per play.
And in terms of the transition for the Warriors, they've taken 5 shots, but only one of them has been at the rim and they missed it. And then they've been 0 for 4 on transition threes. The Suns, by comparison, they've taken 3 of their 8 shots at the rim. They're 2 for 3, and then the other 5 have been threes. They're 2 for 5 there.
Yeah, now it is interesting if you look at the shot charts. Golden State's up to 7 of 10 at the rim now. Suns are 5 of 7, and Golden State's taken another 11 shots in the paint. So they're actually getting to the rim. They've still only made 1 3. Now, if you think about the way the Suns are defending, they are really trying to take away the 3 ball with their switching, and that's going to lead to some miscommunications at times. It's going to lead to some drive-bys. They don't have great rim protection, particularly if Iguodala. That's something I'd be focused on if I'm Golden State, is getting Iguodala switched out on the perimeter and then trying to attack after that. Which first-round series will have the most fights or scuffles? I actually still think it'll be Detroit and Orlando. Someone said it was going to would have been Hornets Pistons. But I mean, Goga Bitadze and Isaiah Stewart as your 2 backup centers. I mean, those might be like the 2 biggest antagonists in the league. Not between each other, but just in and of themselves. So I would imagine they will have some kind of confrontation at some point.
I could actually see if the Suns win this, Suns Thunder having some, but the Thunder don't have a lot of those kinds of. I mean, Lou Dort instigates, but they don't really have.
Yeah, but he doesn't really like get into people's faces, though.
No, but Dylan Brooks does.
Yeah, Bane talks a lot too. You know, I mean, if Orlando can bring it, I don't think Detroit Orlando will be a boring series. I think it's going to be just a physical, like rock'em sock'em series with a lot of athleticism on the floor. It's just a question of whether Orlando is going to come play or not. Right? I mean, you saw what they're capable of tonight. So Curry remains on the bench here. It's back to 14. Oh, and they've almost thrown it away again. Lucky that pass wasn't intercepted by Green. Horford in the post. This has been profitable for them. Goes left shoulder again, and he's got to make that shot. But another stop by Highsmith, who's been brilliant so far. Now Booker has the advantage on Santos. Good help by Horford to deter the drive. Now Brooks underneath, too hard for Goodwin.
Too hard. But I'm keeping an eye on Devin Booker on that last play. He held Santos. I don't think it was enough to call a foul, but Booker can get weirdly handsy for a guy who doesn't really do that much on defense. So that would be important for the Warriors, but I think Booker will be okay.
What was the initial? I know it was Reggie Miller who said it. What was the initial reference for that? Too hard. Like some just like terrible shooter just like threw or passer through like a horrible pass. I can't remember.
I'll try to look it up in a stoppage.
Deep post up, good hard defense by Gillespie. Did not move when Santos tried to go into his shot. Oh yeah, it was some jump ball.
That's right.
It was some just like crazy like muscle bound player who just like tipped the ball. It wasn't Plumlee, was it? Who would it have been? Booker switched onto by Horford, drives him, smoked the layup. Santos in transition. Melton, good job by the Suns getting back here, but Podziemski replaced to the arc and hits the second 3 for the Warriors. That was really nice movement by Podziemski because he ran the floor hard. It wasn't there, and he got out to the 3-point line immediately. Now Green. Tough footwork there by Highsmith. He backs up. Maybe not the right shot selection early in the clock that time. More transition for Golden State. Melton on the push. Payton, Podziemski, another good go and catch. He's drawn the foul. And will they give him the free throws here? That's a move that Podziemski, again, I go back to what KD told me years ago about how when you have more reps offensively, you can waste some of them on drawing fouls. And with all this time when Steph and Jimmy were out, Pajemski was one of the main guys, so he just started doing all this crazy foul drawing stuff. I mean, if you compare his free throw rate this year to where it's been in the past, it's an insane difference.
And so it looks like, go ahead.
Yeah. Mr. the Big Head says it was Duran who had the too hard. Some of these go and catches are close to being travels. What is a travel? Is that? Have you ever heard of that before, Danny? I don't.
I thought the NBA outlawed that a few years ago.
Yeah. So Curry is back now. They're still within 10. A critical last 3:38 now. Gillespie, no switch. Brooks moving without the ball. He'll try Santos. Goes left. Just blows through him. Great call on the offensive foul. He just bludgeoned him with that off arm.
And really, to me, where the line should be on this is, was there craft involved in what you were doing for kind of both offense and defense? And there, not only did he use the off arm, but he raised it high.
Yeah. Now that's interesting. I mean, Steve, hopefully you guys either listened to that episode or saw the video when I asked Steve Kerr about that exact situation, which is are they going to challenge it? Yeah, this is going to be really interesting here. I could see this being overturned actually, because this is what Steve Kerr was talking about. If you look at me, where I asked him about the off arm, and he said, okay, well, we told guys defensively you can't use your arm bar because guys will go up through the arm and it'll be 2 free throws. So then you have to go like this, and now you're leaving your chest totally open to the off arm just shoving you backwards. So I'm interested to see here because, you see Santos does get that right arm in there a little bit, and it is on the chest of Brooks. So I think I have a good argument that he commits the foul first. I mean, those plays are really hard to officiate, because if you're going to say, hey, you're not supposed to chuck a guy. I'm actually listening to Steve here. Yeah. All right. There's bland encouragements.
Bismarck says lots of media podcasters say this or maybe joke about it, but how some players owe their good career contracts playing with superstars. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily fair or unfair. It's just the way things happen. I mean, certain players are better in some circumstances.
Yeah, so let's see. Santos gets his hand in on his chest. That's a foul. And then Brooks reacts with something very exaggerated.
Are they going to do the foul technical here?
No, I don't think he hit him that hard.
I hope they don't. I don't think that's fair. There also wasn't a whistle.
All right, here we go. Is that 3 on Brooks?
Yes.
Yeah, so interesting what Scott Foster said there. It was incidental, it did not hinder his speed, balance, rhythm, and quickness. And 3-4 years ago, that's an obvious foul in the defense. The second half of the 24 season, they started letting guys get away with more of that contact. But if you put a flat hand into a guy's chest like that, I see there's an argument there for the Suns. Now, Brooks's reaction was so much more extreme and much more of a foul. But yeah, I thought that was a reasonable challenge, especially with it being Brooks's third. But now he'll sit down, and Golden State can cut it under double digits for the first time in a while. Curry is guarded by Goodwin. They're going to screen for Draymond, who will screen for Curry. That's what happens. They get Gillespie on Curry. Curry stepping back, tough shot. Good defense by Gillespie. Santos probably got pushed there on the offensive rebound. No call. Suns have a chance in transition. Iguodala. Oh, stolen by Curry. Iguodala maybe should have gone for the floater. Curry looking for that 3. Hunts it. Oh, yeah.
That's a big shot for Steph Curry. He was previously 1 for 5 from the field, now 2 for 6.
He started slowly against the Clippers as well. Oh, miscommunication by the Warriors. They have been dodging a lot of Suns bullets from three, and then a terrible pass, but it somehow got through. And Santos, he is such a reliable finisher in there. I thought that pass was getting picked off for sure, and it's a 5-point game. Gillespie finds Iguodala, and Podziemski on the back line comes over. That was an interesting play up top with Draymond being very aggressive, as we see here. I mean, this is just a preposterous shot in transition by Steph Curry.
He moved so much, like kind of diagonally, in that the Royce O'Neal didn't quite expect it. Royce O'Neal, who's defended Steph Curry a fair amount.
Yeah, and but he was on nearly a dead run at a 45-degree angle to the basket, going to his right. That is so hard as a shooter. So Podziemski, I think part of why he fouled aggressively there was Iguodala's bad free throw shooting, but he makes the first.
Makes both of those. Oso Iguodala on the season was, I believe, a 45% free throw shooter. Yes, 45%.
Here, you might want to slow down by like 1 second.
Okay.
Green, good pressure by O'Neal. Inside position, Podziemski, and he finishes on Booker. Booker wanted a foul on the off arm, but the Warriors are getting into their action now. The Suns' pressure not bothering them, but that's a bad foul by Santos behind Booker. This is Booker's first free throws?
No, he had one set earlier in the game.
Yeah, again, Draymond working with Podziemski setting the screen for Steph, and he gets inside position. Easy cut. The Warriors are absolutely slicing up the Suns at the rim now. Warriors 25-14 in this quarter. And they are 6 of 7 at the rim in this quarter.
And
a lot of that has come in the half court. Podziemski, bothered by Booker, gets past him. Oh, and what's good for the goose is good for the gander there, as Booker just drew a similar foul.
And the Suns are in the penalty, so this should be Warriors free throws.
No, it'll be first in the last 2 minutes.
First in the last 2. Okay, I had it wrong.
Steve Kerr again electing to close the half here with Al Horford rather than Porzingis. Horford, having been with the team all year, been with Steph, just has a better understanding of some of the stuff they want to do in their motion offense. Booker blown by into the corner. Horford, his three, misses. Tip. Podziemski flew in. No one was there.
Great reaction from Pods.
He's been fantastic here in the second. Good pressure by Horford. Almost a backcourt violation. O'Neal getting it across. Podziemski making it difficult. No foul there. That was a good legal screen, says Scott Foster. But down to 7 to shoot for the Suns. Gillespie will have to create something. Great pressure by Curry. Got a hand on it. Gillespie still on the ball. O'Neal gets it off with 1 on the clock. Who's got this rebound? And it's going to be Golden State. Goodwin tipped it out.
And there were 3 Suns there for that offensive rebound, but none of them can secure it. So it's going to be Golden State ball.
Yeah, so there's really, this is probably Devin Booker's box out that time. It wasn't technically his man, but if you're boxing out nobody, you need to find someone. He was the closest one. It's not necessarily box out your man because so much scrambling is going on. So if a shot is going up and you don't know who you're going to box out and you're standing near the basket, you got to find someone fast. He did not have his head on a swivel. And we're going to get a hold here. I think, who is this on? Royce O'Neal in that action between Draymond and Curry. And so it'll be free throws for Draymond Green.
These will be the 7th and 8th free throws for the Warriors. The Suns have taken 10 and have made all 10.
No good on the first. So what do you think of what's taken place here in this quarter. What does it mean for the rest of this game?
I think the Warriors have found some things in the half court, but I don't know that they found enough. And they stopped throwing the ball all over the gym, which was a huge problem in the first quarter.
Yeah, the Suns' pressure is not bothering them anymore. Draymond went for the steal. Now he's on Booker. Podziemski switches onto him. Booker going to probably try to draw a foul here. Good help by Melton. He found Iguodala. Booker couldn't get the rebound. Steph on a hard push between his legs. Back out Horford. He loads up. Left it short. Tipped by Green, but it goes to Iguodala. Booker with a chance now in transition. Melton picks him up. They'll try for the 2-for-1 here. He's just going to go one-on-one. He waves Green into the corner. Good help by Curry. Booker has to fade away, and that was a nice job by Steph Curry stepping up right at the moment that Booker was going to turn the corner. Horford will set it. Curry double teamed. He's hit by Iguodala. That's a good call there. That was actually just on the points of emphasis today. The straight line pathway. Iguodala is crossing the path of Curry, and hence the foul. Though Steph trying to walk it off there. That's one. Hopefully, that's not that troublesome right knee. Having had that injury, if you get pushed as you're trying to explode off of that knee, it can really stress out the tendon.
And so these two free throws give the Warriors a chance for a 30-point quarter. It would be, if he makes both, it'd be 30-14 for the Warriors in the second.
Yeah, I've really been impressed by the defense of Steph Curry in the second quarter as well. But the momentum really turned as they're going to put Brooks in now for this last offensive possession. The momentum really turned on that offensive third foul for Brooks, and it's down to 2. Green, who's been relatively quiet here in the quarter, will be at the controls. They want to involve Peyton in the screening action first. Not sure who they're trying to go after here, but for some reason they went after Peyton, and Green hits a ridiculous fading 3 against Horford. Draymond will get it off from 60 feet, and that'll do it for a 50-45 first half in favor of the Suns. We'll be back with probably about 3 seconds before the second half starts. All right, we are back here. Second half coming up, and if we've had a chance to marinate on it for a little bit, who do you think had the run of play in that first half overall? Danny's not back yet. So I will tell you, I would say, and looking at the shot charts, Golden State 10 of 14 at the rim, Phoenix 5 of 7. It's a lot of jumpers by Phoenix, and they are taking way more threes and hitting way more of them. So I would say the Warriors probably had more of it. I will have to see whether the Suns can reestablish the defensive intensity that they had and start forcing some turnovers, because that was the other issue for the Suns. Second quarter, 5 turnovers for the Suns, only 3 for the Warriors. That's something. If Golden State wins the turnover battle, they're usually going to be in good shape. All right, Danny, I was asking, who do you think had the run of play in the first half?
Overall, the Suns, but that was really fueled off of the first 5 minutes. So I would say,
Yeah.
but still overall them, because those minutes counted a lot. We'll see if there's anything interesting in the shot charts. We've talked about the Warriors getting a lot around the basket, 10 of 14 for them inside 5 feet. And then overall, the Warriors have taken 26 shots inside the paint compared to 13 for the Suns.
Yeah, so I think can Phoenix stop giving up system buckets at the rim, and then also, they need to generate some better shots in the paint as well. I mean, 7 shots at the rim against a Warriors team playing this small is not good enough, but they don't have great rim pressure guys. The Suns have it first. Warriors going with a 2-3 zone. Green on the attack. Porzingis is starting the second half rather than Horford. Brooks works his spot, tries to step through. Porzingis came over, bothered him. What a tip by Iguodala under the basket. That was incredible.
I thought that might have been a travel by Brooks, but a great tip by Iguodala.
Green tells Podziemski to go to the right side and run the play. Brooks with good pressure. Podziemski bothered, picked up his dribble way too early to run the play, and now they're in difficulty. Santos is going to have to create. Curry will set the screen for no. He gets it back. Fires, going to his left. Way short. Podziemski rebound. Kicks it out to Green. Back to Podziemski. Another go and catch by Podziemski. Layup is good. Green calls out the switch. This is an advantage matchup for Phoenix here. Booker pulling over Santos. Not close. Iguodala, second straight offensive rebound. Brooks. He'll try Podziemski. Gets off the ball. Green is open. Good box out by Porzingis. Let Podziemski get the rebound.
And I don't like that attack by Booker. He didn't really do anything, just fired the 3.
Yeah. I mean, it's a corner 3. He was pretty open. But, yeah, he's also shooting 30% for 3 this year. Porzingis looking to hand off to Pods. Good denial by Jordan Goodwin, and Pods will have to create. Pods, high float, rebounded by Green. That, again, Goodwin's denial pushed everything away from the basket. There's Iguodala, and Green with the help, but Goodwin got inside of Curry. Curry did not get the box out there. That all started, Iguodala just gave a shove to Podziemski up top. Curry into the post. Porzingis will screen for Curry. They call the switch out. Inside position, Porzingis. No foul, but it'll remain Warriors ball. Porzingis talking to the referee about getting fouled from behind on that by Brooks.
It looked like there was contact.
I think Porzingis, is he pointing to the bench here? Yeah, he's not looking good on that ankle. Into Green. Good pressure by Brooks. Now Podziemski. They want to post up Santos, and they'll run the action off the side. No, it's going to be him going right at Booker. Good defense by Booker. Porzingis loads up late clock and he drains it. That was probably an overhelp there off of Porzingis, but he's 7-3. You can see he's really not moving well. Now he has to get into the screening action defensively. Here's Green, plows through him. And yeah, that's not what Porzingis needed. I mean, that again, that shows you how ridiculous the off arm is, though.
For Jalen Green just driving Porzingis.
Yeah. Backdoor, Santos fouled by Booker.
That is Booker's second foul, but he can pick him up in bunches at times.
Yeah, and I've liked what the Warriors have found here, and it's a good way to leverage Steph's gravity. Yeah, see, I mean, that's an offensive foul. I mean, well, it's not an offensive foul, but it should be. I mean, he's taking his hand, he's gathering, taking his hand off the ball, smashing it into Porzingis, and then putting his hand back on the ball and shooting a layup.
Oh, correction. That is Devin Booker's. The broadcast said it's his third. I have it as his second. We'll take a look.
Iguodala holding Porzingis. He gets it back. No foul. And he somehow puts it in.
By the way, broadcast was right. That was Booker's third. My feed was late.
Yeah, Porzingis is really gutting it out here. Who did he... Yeah, Porzingis telling Peyton to get out there on Booker. Good communication. Now Brooks getting past Porzingis, pulls up. And yeah, I mean, KP is really struggling to move. They just got to get sub-minutes out of him here.
But I think they could bring Horford and give him some rest.
Yeah, remind me to look up at the break of whether it was his right or his left ankle that he hurt back in 24. Green, Curry screening for Porzingis. Another pass. That time Porzingis fouled Goodwin. And is that going to be a fourth on Booker?
Let's see.
Yeah, Porzingis, since he asked to maybe come out of the game, he's got a 3. He's got that tough layup and the foul. Did you think that was a foul on Devin Booker?
I thought there was enough contact there, and that was Booker's fourth.
Yeah. So Booker, another game of foul trouble for him. Missed that one. Let's see if they set up a zone here on the missed free throw. That looks like it. Brooks 3 over Curry. Got 2 in a row now.
And that was too late from Steph Curry.
Yeah, well, because he was in the zone, he had to react to the penetration. And now Curry on the blow-by. Green corner. Pajemski. Oh, he goes right past Brooks. And they call it travel. I don't know why that's a travel, honestly. You can't review a travel. He just up faked and stepped around him. Let's see. 1, 2. Yeah, no, he's good. That's not a travel. Now Green, another 3-pointer, and the Suns are heating up again from the outside. Timeout, Steve Kerr. That's a pretty key play there. That's really surprising to me that was called a travel. Perhaps there's another view of it. But yeah, you're allowed to get 2 steps. You can up fake as you're on your first play. Like everybody's doing that now. What do you guys think of the chat? Was that a travel? I'm going to check on that Porzingis injury in the meantime.
KP gave it all because he might not come back. I don't think it's about that. I mean, Porzingis is when he plays, he plays hard. I mean, you think back to that, what he tried to give the Celtics in that playoff run when he was clearly injured. And I think that's not his issue. His issue is that he's just not available enough. But he's
all right. So it was his left foot before, and this is left ankle before. Right ankle soreness now, so not the same as the foot before. So Jalen Green having himself a pretty nice shooting game here for the second straight time, with Devin Booker still really unable to get going.
7 for 11 from the field, 5 of 9 from 3, 2 of 2 from 2, 3 assists, only 1 turnover. He's it's funny because he hasn't been like he's had in a few stretches. Like you haven't felt him every second, but he's been very good.
Yeah, third quarter, Suns 2 of 4 from 3, Warriors 1 of 2. Yeah, of all the travels sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
Of all the travels that we've had here, I was really surprised.
So the Warriors had this putrid half-court offensive rating at the beginning of this game. They're getting closer to even with the Suns. It's 0.89 for the Suns and then 0.81 points per half-court play for the Warriors. The difference is that the Warriors have almost 1/2 of a point. They're 6 points on 11 transition opportunities compared to 15 on 13 for the Suns. 15 on 13, 1.15 points per transition play is not great, but 0.55 is horrendous.
It's a great comment from Adam. Traveling in today's NBA means shooting before you have taken 3 steps. That's good.
What is Jalen Green's ceiling? Best second banana on a contender? Ceiling, he could grow his game a lot, but I don't love him as a second right now. I mean, if the jump shot gets all the way there, because his defense isn't, he could be a team defender. I think it's probably like the 4th best player on a high level team.
Let's see. All right. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a gather step right there, that first one. Yeah, I mean, that is surprising to me, given all the other shit that they let go. I mean, I think that should be a travel, but it's not. So Curry up top. He's been relatively uninvolved here in the third. They want to go at Iguodala, and now Payton. Good help by Brooks. Can't get out to Santos, though, or maybe he did. And good fight by Draymond, but O'Neal did well to throw it off of Draymond then. So that play is a Warriors timeout staple. Screen for Steph, slip out early, get the pass to the roll man. And I thought it came a little bit too late to Santos. Brooks was helping and left the corner open, and he did well to get out there in the end.
And this is Gary Payton for Porzingis, so Draymond at 5.
Good call, and that's a push by Podziemski. Pretty clear call there. Yeah, so I don't know how much those of y'all have watched the Suns this year. But what we're seeing from Devin Booker tonight, just like not really able to get separation, is what we've been seeing from him all year. That's why he was not seriously even in the All-Star conversation for me, not to mention All-NBA. Draymond with the good opportunist attack. Goodwin was open, and Curry recognized Draymond had come over hard, and he got the closeout. Podziemski stepping back. Let's see if they can get Curry involved here. Back screen set by Curry. Now he's open. Shoved off Green. Throws it up. This will be a non-shooting foul. I think that's the correct call.
But who are they calling for this foul?
I think it's Jalen Green.
Yeah, that's Green's first. I thought the Brooks was in the vicinity, but no, that's Green who fouled him.
Yeah, that would have been 4 on Brooks.
Correct.
Green looking to hand off to Curry. Fires it immediately. Well short. Curry's had some misses where he hasn't looked to have his legs under him. Green is on Goodwin now. Draymond Green. Curry on Jalen Green. Curry, good pressure again. He's been very solid defensively of late. Now Santos switching on to Jalen Green. Not much of a contest there, and it goes in. That, again, the limitation of Santos just doesn't have the length to challenge shots, and he's not a good lateral mover either. Santos in the post now. Is he going to go to work against Jalen Green? Good help by Brooks. Cut by Payton. Over his head. Brooks stopped that. Here's Booker on a push. Picked up by Podziemski. Leading to this from Green. Draymond got back beautifully. Up top, Brooks. They're still in scramble. Now they've recovered. Brooks powering through. Foul on Payton.
For a second, I thought they were calling that an offensive foul on Brooks, but I
Yeah.
thought that was a foul on Payton.
Yeah, see again. You see how far away Guy Santos is there from Jalen Green. He's just not even in the same zip code. Like, that's not an NBA quality contest. 6 3-pointers now by Jalen Green, exercising a few demons against the Warriors as Horford makes his second half debut. He takes out Payton. Is Payton in foul trouble now?
He has 3.
Green getting past Horford, and he lost it that time. He had Booker open in the corner, too. Suns by 14. Nice start to the quarter for them. And Curry, his second sideline out of bounds violation. He went behind his back and just went out of bounds.
And he's had 3 turnovers, 1 bad pass, and then 2 out of bounds.
Yeah, I guess he had that. It was the same thing as opposite foot on the sideline. Iguodala, as Pajemski forced him away from the screen. Now it's Booker coming off the weak side. Draymond stays with him. Up to Iguodala. Draymond disrupted that somehow. Now Booker pulling up well short over Horford. And that is a, man, Pods is getting really good at this flopping. And that's 4 on Brooks.
And that was, to me, pretty soft contact seeing it live from Brooks, but he sold some of those too. Oh, Curry's moving a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, he and Porzingis are really trying to gut it out here. Neither of these teams is going to give the Thunder a series. That's certainly the case.
And so that's 4 on Brooks, 4 on Booker.
Yeah, I think Steph, when he that possession I highlighted in the first, yeah, he looks terrible right now. He'll set the screen on Iguodala. Draymond has to pop it back out, but no advantage was ever created. Here's O'Neal. He extends and finishes over Pajemski, and this one's starting to get out of hand now.
Yeah. I feel like this one's getting pretty close to over. I'm not saying we're going to end the broadcast, but I have a feeling on this one.
Yeah, with Curry moving like this, he's been way off on his last few shots. Post up Horford. Booker has 4 fouls. Horford, left shoulder, bucket. You know, Horford still has some post-up ability, and they're walking the dog right now in the third quarter. That's another rule the NBA needs to change, by the way. Iguodala sets the screen on Draymond, and Draymond got that off of Booker. Horford on the floor. Ooh, watch his right shoulder. Uh-oh. Hopefully he's okay. Yeah, he is. I'm always worried when someone dives on the floor and reaches out and someone lands on their shoulder. Here's Melton, corner 3. They need it, and it drops.
Seems like it hits every part of the rim, but it does drop. 11-point lead for the Suns.
Good pressure on Booker. Draymond bothering him, and a foul. Draymond can't believe it. He could get teed up here. He's got to watch it. But he's been pretty darn good defensively in this quarter. It's just Golden State's offense has really struggled. Let's see if there's a foul here.
He's grabbing the jersey with his left hand.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened around the back of Booker either. I think he's saying, I got ball. It's the best I can do on that. I was thinking of maybe taking a lip reading class this offseason. What do you think? No, I'm dead serious. I think that would actually be like pretty good. That would really enhance our coverage.
And then I'm thinking of the episode of Seinfeld, but yes, I do think it would help our coverage.
It's a lot better than like trying to learn Spanish or something. Green blitzed again. Back to O'Neal. Suns have not gotten anything out of these blitzes. Green, tough step back. Inside position, Melton. O'Neal bothering him, and he's called for a foul, loose ball foul, and this will be free throws over the backbreaker there by Royce O'Neal, and Golden State a chance to get back under double digits once more. They heard you when you said it was over.
But I want to see how long Stephen Curry stays in from this point. I feel like his rest is coming pretty soon.
Yes.
But yeah, the Warriors' nice response after I said it was getting close to over.
Yeah, where you really on these blitzes, the key thing to watch if you're going to blitz is, are you making the ball handler go backwards? Because if you're making the ball handler go backwards, it's really hard to throw an incisive pass. If you can step through that or just be strong, then you can throw a pass that's going to get him into the 4-on-3. But if he's backing up, then he's probably his only pass is going to be to that other guy out top, and the defense can recover in good order. Good pressure by Horford here against Iguodala. Now he picks up Booker. Nice pass by Booker up to O'Neal. That was a good play call. Great box out by Horford, though. Melton, inside out dribble, blows past Booker with the 4 fouls. Stop from behind Green, but this will be a basket interference, a goaltend on Phoenix.
I didn't see it live, but I'm a replay might clear this up.
Yeah, I thought it was okay, but the Suns already used their challenge. Let's see it.
Yep, that's a goaltend.
Yep.
Good
You're
eye.
still ahead of me. I'm very jealous of you to know what's happening before me. Gillespie. Now it's Booker against Peyton. Not even going to try him. Forced towards the baseline. Great job by Peyton not letting him use the screen. Iguodala, Green coming over. Horford has been excellent defensively in this game. Green has to fire from way out. 7 3-pointers. And Draymond Green's getting close to a technical. He had another approach of the referee. Curry is on the bench now. Draymond stays in, which he is not typically when Curry's on the bench. And Melton, much needed floater there. With Porzingis, I think they've come to the conclusion that Porzingis is not going to be available the rest of the way. They're just going to have to play Draymond. Iguodala tied up by Green. That's a foul. His third. Good call there. He's continuing to approach Scott Foster.
I think the tech is coming. Nope.
I mean, that was a pretty obvious foul.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, Green has 2 more threes than the entire Warrior team. Jalen Green.
That's an interesting question from Raw. Would you rather pay Booker or Fox the max? De'Aaron Fox, I think, because
Well,
Booker,
especially if it's their personal max, because Booker is 35% and Fox is 30.
It's a great point, and because Fox's game, if he gets a little bit worse physically, I think that it can work okay. Devin Booker's game does not, because if he's not generating enough good shots, he's a capable passer, but he's not an incredible one, and he's not a good defender. Fox at least tries on the defensive end, so even if it's just who would I rather pay from now until 2029, the answer is De'Aaron Fox, which is good for me to put in perspective.
I think you're probably right about that. And I mean, Fox is a better 3-point shooter than Devin Booker at this point.
Whew. Whew. Let's see. So the Warriors don't have the horses if Steph can't go nuclear. I mostly agree with that. They did a great job in that second quarter of getting system buckets, but it's too hard to come back overall. I think that the Suns are a good defensive team. They've gotten a big night from Jalen Green. So I think it would be hard for them if it's not going to come from Steph. From BOK or BIK rant. Do stars usually decide how long they need to sit? No, that's a combination of the coaches and the medical staff and everything else. Now, their players can have input sometimes in terms of the structure of their rest. So there was these discussions, however, between Curry and Kerr early in his career about Curry liked to play the whole first quarter, about that sort of a thing. But no, that's why you have a medical team, is to understand it. And rotations are usually pretty stable game to game within a season. Home court advantage alive and well in 2026. Yeah, I mean, I mean, we'll see what happens in this game, but the reminder, you said it when we were doing the previews of these 8 seed games, of that one team has won and one team has lost, but the team that lost is the superior seed. That doesn't always mean they're the better team, but they also are always going to be the home team, whether they were or were not in the first one. And that is a good reminder as well.
Yeah, and we said this on our preview. Like, I didn't feel nearly as strongly about, I did pick them, sadly, about Charlotte over the Magic than I think a lot of people did, because we've just seen this so many times where the 8 seed loses and they're everyone just thinks they're never going to win again, and the 9 seed beats the 10 seed. I thought Charlotte had one of the worst 9 seed victories ever, but I was really more, I wasn't really impressed with Charlotte at all. And as a potential playoff team, I think I've been lower on them than most all season, or at least not all season, but since they got into things. Highsmith is in. Booker tried to draw the foul, and he actually got to his mid-ranger that time. Back to 10. Curry remains on the bench, try to loosen up his knee. Looked like he was also doing something to his ankle during the break. Horford off the Santos screen. Horford moving quickly underneath Santos. Tries O'Neal. Man, he is just, he talked about it a few weeks ago about how he's been studying Jimmy Butler and the way that he operates in the paint. And he is just so calm. He always makes the right decision down there, takes his time, and more often than not is able to get a make or free throws.
And not nearly as impactful as Booker and Brooks' 4 fouls, but Royce O'Neal now has 4 as well. Santos misses the first free throw. Warriors are now 11 of 15 from this line. Suns are still 10 of 10, but so that means they haven't taken a free throw in a while, because I said that, I don't know, that felt like it was a half an hour ago.
Santos gets the second. Peyton still has the matchup on Booker. That time they did not blitz Booker, and he was able to get to his spot. Horford looks like he's preparing to do that this time. Now he backs out. They never activated the screen. Instead, it's weak side screening for O'Neal, and looks like Highsmith came down on the end line.
These are really important final 2 minutes for the Warriors, because with Curry off the floor, if they can keep this close to even, I mean, Curry wasn't looking good when he left, but they would have a fighting chance.
Yeah, Draymond is out now as well. Horford will set the screen for Santos late, and Highsmith again off the knee of Santos, but it'll remain Warrior ball. Highsmith has really been excellent here. They are going with him rather than Ryan Dunn in these minutes now here in the second half.
He's earned them. I like Highsmith.
Yeah, he's basically playing center with Williams unavailable. They're not going to Malawatch. Santos again. Man, that guy just has such a great feel for offensive basketball. Jalen Green has Santos. He likes this matchup. I like it for him. Horford coming over to help. Green on the attack. Corner Gillespie. Good rotation by Horford, but now Green able to step around Podziemski because Horford had rotated. Good job by the Suns moving the ball to stay one step ahead of the defense. Melton switched onto by Green. Horford looking to post up. This is their best offense. Let's see if Highsmith can keep him off that left shoulder. He can't. He thought he got him clean, though, because you could tell. And Highsmith, he played against Al Horford last year in the playoffs. Or was that 2 years ago? Sorry, 2 years ago he played against them when Jimmy Butler and basically anyone else on the team was hurt. And so he knows the game of these guys pretty well. Yeah, I wish we could get a replay whether that was a foul. I've not liked Amazon's coverage in terms of giving us replays of potentially controversial calls.
It makes our jobs a lot easier when we can get an extra look at that. And usually there are times that it doesn't hurt the broadcast.
2 free throws by Horford. And now Draymond continuing to get involved. This could be another technical for him. Hey, he knows at least that, maybe it'll be a double tech. What do they have here?
That looked like the double
foul.
texting. Oh.
Oh, technical fouls. Now Booker going to look for the 2-for-1 here. They'll have Highsmith set the screen. Horford staying with Booker, and he reached in for the foul. That's a bad foul by Al Horford. And Booker will get free throws.
Devin Booker's night so far, 3 of 10 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3, 3 for 6 from 2, but then I believe these will be free throws 6 and 7 for him. Plus 17 to his credit.
Yeah, and I think for a lot of people, it was difficult to parse the idea of Devin Booker not being an all-star, as Steph will come in for this last offensive possession of the quarter, although the Suns will get one too. They got the 2-for-1. To parse the idea of him still being extremely important to the Suns, particularly with Jalen Green out most of the year, they early on in the season, they actually did not fall off a cliff when he was on the bench, but that was, in bench units. Once he wasn't playing in full games, their offense really declined, but he himself has not been that amazing. He's been their only creator. He's been really important to them, but I think a lot of guys could have done what he was doing in that spot. Here's Steph trying Highsmith, drives him, missed the layup, no tip, and Booker is going to slow it down. Are they going to shoot it? No. Curry sets up the defense. Melton gets out on Goodwin. Booker wants Pajemski. They double team early. Highsmith, he'll take a 3. Short, good box out by Melton, and that'll do it for a nice response by Phoenix here in the third. It's really been the 3-point shooting that has kept them afloat. And what to see, how much will Curry play in the fourth? Booker presumably will get a rest, and Golden State is gonna have to hit some threes at some point here, though.
5 of 19 from Golden State from 3 so far. The Suns are 12 of 38, but this is another rest of team one because Jalen Green is 7 of 12. So rest of team is 5 of 26.
Yeah, and Brooks has 3 of those. So now this will be an interesting time for the Suns as well. I thought that Ott erred in taking out both Green and Booker earlier. Did both those guys go the whole quarter? Let me see.
Booker sat a little bit.
Let's see. Yeah, but Booker sat for like 1 minute. So
right after he got his
pretty much went this entire quarter. So are they going to put both of them on the bench right now? Maybe they just give one of them a couple minutes and then the other one a couple minutes.
Do technical foul points count in the play-in? I'm honestly not 100% sure that it's this netherworld statistically for so many other things. I would guess that they count towards the postseason totals. Why is Danny always in a pitch black room? Well, I give Nate the choice of whether he wants this or the light on. Or alternatively, you could say that I live my life in darkness. Either of those.
Yeah. Well, there's like your closet door that's like stuck behind like a treadmill, and like that's the alternative.
Yeah. Do we expect Steph to start the fourth like he did the second? I think he's going to get a short rest. I don't think he's going to be out there to start it.
Yeah, usually he'll put him in just for one possession at the end of the third, just to get some offense. But
Oh yeah, Grayson Allen was technically available to play in this game, but he has not appeared. His hamstring issue was pretty recent. I didn't expect him to play in this game.
Yeah, Draymond Green, if they do make it to the playoffs, really capitalizing on the fact that these tax and flagrant points don't accumulate and go into the playoffs.
Miguel says there was a time that I wondered if Booker was better than Donovan Mitchell in Utah, and I mean there was a time when that was a real conversation.
He was
And yeah,
better than Donovan Mitchell. Like he was up until the last 2 years, he was unbelievable. Like if you go back and look at like the 23 playoffs before he hurt his foot in that Denver series, he was just ridiculous. And yeah, he just last year and this year, he just hasn't been the same player.
both of these teams are going to get waxed by OKC. I agree. That is what I expect to have happen. The Thunder are a very good team.
Yeah, so looks like Curry is going to start the fourth.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll get him another short rest as they did before. I think they just decided that they're going to change up things for him. And Draymond has rested very little here in the second half. He only sat about 2 minutes.
And Draymond has 4 personals as well.
So probably lucky that was a technical instead of a personal. There's the same play. Payton couldn't squeeze it, though. Booker remains on the floor, as does Jalen Green. Green went the whole third. Booker nearly the whole third. Booker waves everyone away. He wants to try Curry. Help comes from Melton. Gets it into the corner. Green nearly double dribbled. Corner, Goodwin. Green runs Jalen off the line, and he just cashes out. I mean, you know, if Jalen Green is a good shooter, he's going to be a pretty damn good player. I don't know how much you can count on that. Yeah, Steph really just not moving well. He looked like he tried that one drive and wasn't able to finish. Now he'll fire this 3, and he does drain that one to push him back within 8. You never, ever count out Steph Curry in a situation like this. Melton going to try to keep Green on the side so Draymond could trap him. Now they're in a very languid possession. Nice pass by Highsmith off the cut by O'Neal. That was beautiful. Royce O'Neal and Haywood Highsmith, 2 guys that you would think would never combine in an action. They created, and then Jordan Goodwin hit the 3. And now there's a steal by Goodwin as Curry fell asleep, and it'll be a jump ball between them. That was fantastic work on the other end because Jalen Green and Booker both were just taken out of the play. And so a hard cut by Royce O'Neal opened everything up.
And a good read to make that pass out to Jordan Goodwin.
Yeah, Jordan Ott going, they tried Malawach for a short time. They would never even think of putting him out there with Curry on the floor as Steph tries to win it and does win it against Goodwin. You'd think Goodwin would have won that. Steph between his legs, fights his way through, lays it up, stopped by Jalen Green, and they are going to get a foul on Santos.
Yeah, I thought they were calling an extremely late foul drawn by Curry, but instead it's on Santos.
Yeah, another miss. Jalen Green, though, he forced Curry to send it too high. Yeah, and Santos gets Booker in the face. Santos is fouling Royce O'Neal right now. Now Booker is going to get fouled by Payton. There was a burst from Devin Booker. He doesn't look to be moving particularly well himself. He's just dealt with a lot of muscle injuries, and I think it has sapped his quickness some.
That is a foul on Gary Payton II. That is his 4th personal. And another Amazon irritation is that you don't consistently have team fouls on the screen.
Or timeouts. Where's the timeout indicator right now?
That's a great point.
So one thing, the Suns switching has really taken away Golden State's 3-point game. 6 of 21, but it's that 21 that's more concerning, really. They've gotten up 39 threes. Free throw line has been about equal. 14 makes for each team. Into the post, Green. Screen for Curry. Good switching. Weak side, Melton. That's the right pass there. Passed a little high, but somehow it dropped in for DeAnthony Melton. Golden State continuing to hang around. That was really good defense by the Suns, though, and it took a great pass by Draymond to beat it. Now Jalen Green pulls in the face of Draymond Green. Almost got that to go. He's pretty locked in even on his misses right now. Melton. He'll try Booker. Santos, good close, but Curry is going to be wide open here. I don't know what happened. Goodwin can't believe it. O'Neal just never switched out on that screen.
I'm surprised Dylan Brooks isn't on the floor when you consider that he has had an extended sit with 4 fouls.
Booker gets off the ball. Highsmith fires. That was not really his shot, I don't think. Warriors should continue to explore his inability to beat them. Here's Melton going right at Jalen Green, who stopped him. Beautiful defense by Jalen Green at the rim. Melton picks him back up. They're going to try to go at Santos. They switch it. Santos looking a little tired. Now Curry guarding Green. He likes to go left. Goes at Melton. Steps around him. Bucket.
Jalen Green has been fantastic in this game.
Santos looking for Curry. Green denied him. Santos will have to try Booker. Again, does not look to be moving well. Booker does have his strength, though. Payton hand off. Curry will have to create. Down to 4. Gets around O'Neal. Stepping through. No foul. He is really but unable to convert in the lane, and the Suns have transition. O'Neal, pass fake. 3. Off the side. Tipped by Santos, but it goes right out to Jalen Green. Is he going to try Draymond or no? He's going to get it to Booker, guarded by Curry. Down to 6. Booker trying to direct traffic. O'Neal says, hey, you got to go, bro. Into the corner, Jalen Green eluding Draymond and cashes out. He's been a monster.
What a great shot fake by Jalen Green there to get Draymond flying in the air, and he has all the time in the world to make it.
It's slipping away from Golden State now. Draymond trying to get into the post to work with Curry. Cut by Santos. That's got to be a foul. No, Highsmith with another steal. He's been brilliant. Jalen Green has gone the entire way. Draymond is guarding him now. Booker looking to attack, trying to go at Santos. Santos and Curry are the pigeons. Booker gets his man in the air, almost threw it away. Here's Jalen Green on the drive again. Got it off, and what a ridiculous shot that is. This guy's unreal tonight.
Everyone is a pigeon to Jalen Green. 36 points, 14 of 20 from the field. He has been electric, and he's competed well on defense.
He really has. Yeah, I did think that was one way that he didn't get enough credit for improving under Ime Udoka. See if I'm actually going to check out some of the matchup stuff. Yeah, so Jalen Green is pretty interesting. He is lit up DeAnthony Melton, shooting 6 of 7 against him. He and Pods have basically had the main matchups, the 2 main matchups. Jalen Green is only 1 for 1 in 3.5 minutes against Pajemski, and 6 of 7 for 15 points in 3.5 minutes when guarded by Melton.
Got to comment that this is going to be Steve Kerr's last game. I suspect, I don't know anything inside information, I suspect Kerr will be back next season, and then that will be his last season.
I do think the Warriors are gonna. I think they have a few rabbits in the hat still, or they think they might.
They're at least going to try.
Yeah, I think Kerr's going to kind of take his time and maybe find out what they're going to do in the offseason. I mean, if they bring the same team back, it's kind of hard to ask it or hard to expect him to come back, but
Wes says Jalen Green was Phoenix's best player in the first game, wasn't he? And as memory serves, yes, he was.
Yeah. I mean, he fell off a little bit with his shooting late, 14 to 29 in the end, but yeah.
Booker wasn't great possession to possession that one. Dylan Brooks had some big moments too, but I think Jalen Green was the best player in the first one.
We should probably mention the lottery implications of this game, because you've got Charlotte and Memphis have Orlando and Phoenix's pick. And I think Memphis has the third best of those, or has the better of those two. So Charlotte would have been rooting for the exact opposite to happen. They could have beaten the Magic, and then if the Warriors had beaten the Suns, they would have had a lottery pick, and Memphis would have had a lottery pick. Now, neither of those picks are going to be in the lottery, with the Orlando and looking likely Phoenix advancing. They're not out yet, but 14 points is going to be pretty tough, particularly again with Steph Curry really having had little rest in the second. Are they going to try to rest him? I mean, you can see Steph, the big thing of showing where he struggled, and it's hurt them too because the Suns have gotten a lot of transition out of it, is 1 out of 6 on twos for Curry. And I think all but one of those is at the rim. Suns are going to pressure here. See if Steph is still in. He is. Draymond will get a rest. Yeah, I mean, they're not even really running plays for Steph Curry right now. Yeah, they just ran that play for Guy Santos. Horford does get that 3, stepping back, though, and it's down to 11. This is about where he went on his jag on Wednesday night. Brooks is in. Suns maintaining a centerless group. Booker shoves off Horford. I mean, that's an offensive foul. They'll never call it, but that's an offensive foul. He got that arm way away from his body. Now Horford going to go at Booker, who has 4. Booker trying to keep him off the left. Instead, Curry tries to draw the foul. He's done a number of foul drawing attempts and finally is profited by one.
And I believe that's Royce O'Neal's 5th.
It's been a lot of fouls in this game for not being that many free throws. I take it back. That was not too egregious of an off-arm move. He and Horford were both kind of involved there.
So Royce O'Neal has 5, Booker has 4, Brooks has 4, Draymond Green has 4, Gary Payton has 4.
So Curry can cut it to 10 now. Golden State's really probably going to have to win this on defense and then run.
Yeah. No, as you've often talked about, comebacks usually start on the defensive end.
Yeah, it was actually the Clipper one was the opposite. They just scored every single time. They actually weren't stopping the Clippers that well. But and Jordan Ott is continuing to go with this centerless group. Also, the Warriors just getting nothing. I shouldn't say they got nothing because he had a nice little stretch at the start of the third. But the fact that Porzingis hasn't been able to play very much, that's really hurt them too. He was great for them in that Clippers game. Payton getting into Booker. No switch. Right back to Booker. Payton stays with him. They'll try again. Horford switching on to Booker. Booker getting past him. Good help by Steph. Corner. Goodwin again. The Suns are hitting everything right now. That was really nice rotations by the Warriors, and Jordan Goodwin just hit it in the face of the defender, Santos. Curry, he can attack O'Neal here. He gets past him. Corner Payton, not a shooter. Back to Potts. He'll try getting past Goodwin. Oh, Goodwin took it away from behind. He tried the slow step, and Goodwin just kept running. A bucket here. He'll probably put it away. Booker has Al Horford, just shoots over. No real contest there by Horford timeout Steve Kerr, and I think that's probably going to do it.
Yep.
Are we going to stick around or?
That can be your choice. I think we're done. I think we're done here. We can always jump back in.
You thought we were done with like 3 minutes gone by in the third.
No, I said we were going that direction. I wasn't ready to call the broadcast.
Okay. All right.
So I am happy to stay here. We're not going to start recording right now anyway, so it's whatever you want.
No, I suppose not. This is a good one. Will the Warriors score 14 more points the rest of the game?
We used to play this game when I was in college because UCLA was beating the stuffing out of teams then, of like, what point in the game will the UCLA have scored as many points as the opponent will eventually finish with? I think the Warriors, 14, I think they can do. I don't think they're going to get 20. It was done once Porzingis left. That did really hurt because Porzingis, he was a way that they could attack. And I mean, Stephen Curry's already played 31 minutes in this game.
Yeah. Well, and I think, Iguodala I thought was fine, but and the Suns getting something out of Highsmith as backup center as well has been important. But if Porzingis is out there, they probably don't feel nearly as comfortable going this small.
But also Steph Curry, like it was Steph Curry not being the player he was in the Clippers game. Like that's been a massive factor.
No, when he tried to drive and drew that foul, driving in from the right wing, seemed like it was that he was not the same after that. But I mean, Jalen Green just ridiculous. 36 points, 6 of 6 from 2, 8 of 14 from 3. Just a little 90% true shooting on 40% usage by Jalen Green in this game.
And I'm scoring 35 and 36 and counting in the 2 playing games.
Yeah.
Do we name the play an MVP after him now?
Well, he's only played 2 games. Well, I'll tell you who we're not going to name it after. LaMelo Ball.
Is there anything to look forward to in an OKC Phoenix series? Well, Nate and I will preview it tonight on the pod. I'm interested to see what the Suns' defense and what their ball and player movement look like against the Thunder. But in terms of, winning a lot of games in the series, probably not.
So Draymond is in, guarded by Dillon Brooks. I think this will be the first time Dillon Brooks has ever gotten the better of Draymond Green when it's mattered. Warriors have about 12 possessions to make up 15 points. That's a tough ask. Horford getting it into the post. Phoenix is up the pressure inside Santos. Again, beautiful rim read by Santos. He just plays so smart and slow off of 2 feet, and he's able to make the right decision.
And there he gets it to Brandon Podziemski for the and one. Jalen Green not in foul trouble at all. But you're down 15. You need to get 2 or 3 every time.
Yeah, it's really going to come down to the Warrior defense. Horford, Draymond, Podziemski, Santos, and Curry. Probably their best 5 that they could put out there. It'll be Dillon Brooks at center replacing Highsmith. Jalen Green on the switch double. Podziemski is now on him. Booker blitzed. O'Neal, good rotation by Podziemski. Green Brooks almost got that one. That was a very quick release. He's not known for his quick release. So Warriors getting very active defensively. Suns have done a pretty good job staying ahead of that. Curry on the ball finally, throws it ahead. Santos, good help by Brooks, but that leaves Podziemski open because he couldn't get the steal. He couldn't cash it out. That could have cut it to 9. Curry, this could cut it to 9. No. Tipped out again. Warriors on the glass. And that's going to be a foul on Draymond Green. We're going to go the other way. He got a tip, and then he continued to shove, it looked like O'Neal, down. I would not recommend challenging this.
No, Draymond's track record on this isn't great, but also loose ball fouls very rarely get overturned.
All right, so watch this. He's going to tip it. He's kind of locked up with him. Tips it. That's good. But then, yeah, he threw his arm down. So they're going to double team Booker here. They move it. Suns getting a step ahead. Wide open 3 O'Neal. And now it's 15, and I think we can pack it in here. All right, y'all. Thanks for joining us. We will be doing Denver and Minnesota tomorrow. Hope you'll join us then. All right, he better not make this. He better not make this. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here before we get sucked back in again, because there's like a 99.9% chance this game will not be close.